The sky over the milky frontier shimmered with distant stars, pale dots of light scattered across the endless darkness. Captain Elias Ward stood at the edge of the human mining colony, watching the faint glow of the horizon. The colony was small, almost humble compared to the massive stations in the core worlds, but it was home. For years, humans had carved life from the harsh, rocky planet, scraping metal from veins of ore, planting modest hydroponic gardens, and building a community that survived by grit and determination. Every day was a struggle, but every day was a triumph. Humans endured, adapted, and thrived, and Elias felt a quiet pride every time he looked at his people. He adjusted the strap of his utility pack and scanned the terrain below. The settlement's dome-shaped habitat modules glowed softly under the twin moons. Automated miners moved slowly across the craggy ridges, extracting the rare minerals that were the colony's lifeline. The hum of machinery was the colony's heartbeat, steady and constant. Yet, amid the normalcy of another long night, something unusual caught his eye. A small, bright light appeared in the sky, unlike any star or satellite he had ever seen. It moved with intent, hovering above the far ridge before descending rapidly toward the colony. Elias frowned, squinting to see more clearly. The light resolved into a sleek, metallic craft, unlike any human design he recognized. It moved silently, without engines roaring or thrusters flaring, and landed smoothly in a cleared area near the edge of the colony. Dust and small rocks danced around its landing point. Elias felt a twinge of unease, but also curiosity. He motioned to his assistant, Lieutenant Mara Klein. "Get a team together. I want eyes on that craft and make sure we stay cautious. It could be a scout, or worse." Mara nodded and ran toward the communications hub to alert the colony. Elias grabbed his sidearm and moved cautiously toward the landing site, every muscle alert. As he approached, the ship's hatch opened with a soft hiss. A figure emerged, walking down the ramp with a calm, measured grace that immediately caught Elias off guard. It was a woman, or at least humanoid in form, but her features were strikingly different from any human he had seen. Her skin had a soft, iridescent glow, like moonlight reflected on water. Her hair shimmered with silver strands, moving gently as if caught in a breeze that only she could feel. Her eyes were large, luminous, and a pale blue that seemed almost liquid, filled with intelligence and emotion. She looked directly at Elias, and for a moment, he was frozen. There was something familiar in her gaze, something he could not immediately place. Then her voice reached him, smooth and melodic, yet with an unmistakable certainty. "Do you recognize me, human? I was your neighbor back then." Elias blinked. His mind struggled to process her words. "Neighbor?" he asked, his voice tight. He remembered his childhood neighborhood on Earth, dusty streets, small houses, and neighbors waving from their porches. He had never seen anyone like this woman there. His brow furrowed. "Yes," she said, stepping closer, her presence calm but commanding. "I lived near you before the exo-exodus, before humanity reached the stars. You may not remember, but I have never forgotten." I don't understand. How could you have been my neighbor? And why are you here?" His voice carried disbelief, but also a flicker of curiosity. "I came back to help," she said simply. "You humans have a strength that few species truly appreciate. And now, there is a threat approaching that only humans can stand against."
"I have returned to ensure the potential is realized."
Elias narrowed his eyes. A threat? His mind raced. Rumors of hostile alien factions had always lingered in the outer colonies, but nothing had reached this sector for decades. "What kind of threat?" She held up a slender hand, and a holographic map flickered to life in the air between them. Stars, planets, and ships appeared in sharp relief. A cluster of ships, sleek and angular, moved toward the milky frontier. "These are the Kralins," she explained. "They are advancing with the intent to claim this sector. They underestimate humanity. But you are different. You have ingenuity, courage, and adaptability, traits that cannot be replicated by machines or brute force. Elias studied the map. The Kraylands were known for their ruthlessness and advanced technology. Even a small fleet could devastate a human settlement if unprepared. The thought made his stomach tighten. But alongside fear, there was a spark of something else. Hope. This alien, who claimed to have known him long ago, seemed to understand humans in a way no other species did. "You expect us to fight them?" Elias asked, his voice low.
"We barely have enough resources to maintain the colony."
The woman's gaze was unwavering.
"Yes. And you will not fight alone. I have knowledge to share. Technology, tactics, and strategies that will allow you to face them on more equal terms."
"But you must act quickly. Their scouts are already in this sector." Elias nodded slowly, taking in her words. He felt a mix of caution and curiosity. The colonists would need convincing, but he trusted his instincts. He had always believed in human potential, and perhaps this was the moment to test it in ways he had never imagined. He motioned for Mara and a small team to join them. As they arrived, the alien woman extended her hand toward them, and a holographic display of the colony's defenses appeared. She began to outline how to reinforce shielding, manage energy distribution, and deploy automated defense drones. Elias watched as the humans absorbed the instructions, their skepticism slowly replaced by determination. During the briefing, the woman shared stories of her past interactions with humanity. She spoke of observing humans on Earth before the exo-exodus, noting the qualities that made them resilient: curiosity, bravery, and a willingness to take risks when the odds seemed impossible. He realized she had a deep respect for humans, unlike the Kraylands who measured strength in sheer numbers and firepower. Hours passed as the team worked to integrate her guidance. Humans and aliens alike moved in harmony, constructing new defensive structures, reprogramming drones, and adapting alien technology to human capabilities. Elias marveled at how quickly the colonists responded. It was proof, he thought, that humans could rise to challenges far greater than themselves when given knowledge and purpose. As night fell over the colony, Elias found a moment to speak with the alien privately.
"I still don't understand," he said. "If you lived near me back then, why didn't I remember you?"
She smiled faintly, a gesture both comforting and enigmatic. "Memories fade and humans forget many things. I did not forget. I have been watching, waiting for the right moment to return. That moment is now." Elias studied her face, searching for any hint of deception, but found none. There was only sincerity, tempered by centuries of observation. He felt an unexpected connection, a sense that this being was more than an ally. She was a witness to the humanity he had always believed in. Suddenly, alarms blared from the outer perimeter. The Kraylan scouts had been detected. The colonists, guided by Elias and the alien woman, quickly took their positions. Automated drones hummed to life. Energy shields flared, and defensive turrets powered up. The night sky lit with flashes of light as the first Kraylan ships entered range. Elias's heart pounded. This was the test of everything he had taught his people, every lesson of survival and ingenuity. And yet, with the alien woman at his side, he felt a strange sense of calm. Together, they could face what was coming. Humans were not just survivors. They were fighters, thinkers, and innovators. And tonight, that potential would be tested. The first Kraylan ships opened fire, energy blasts striking the colony's defenses. The human drones responded, their movements quick and adaptive, exploiting weaknesses in the enemy formation. The battle was chaotic, the night alive with flashes of light, the hum of energy shields, and the shouts of colonists coordinating their actions. Elias moved among the defenders, issuing orders, adjusting tactics, and watching as humans executed maneuvers he had only read about in simulations. The alien woman guided the drones with precision, her movements elegant and effective, merging alien efficiency with human creativity. As the Kralin attack intensified, Elias realized the truth in her words. Humans were different. They could adapt, improvise, and find solutions where others saw only obstacles. And now, with the alien ally revealing knowledge of the universe that humans had only glimpsed, their chances had grown exponentially. By the time the first wave of Kralin scouts withdrew, the colony had survived with minimal damage. The colonists cheered, exhausted but exhilarated. Elias allowed himself a brief smile. The battle was not over, but hope had been renewed. The alien woman approached him once more.
"This is only the beginning," she said softly. "They will return."
But humanity is ready to meet them, not as prey, but as equals. And you, Captain, are the one who will lead them. Elias nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility, but also a surge of determination. The night sky above the milky frontier was filled with stars, and somewhere among them, the Kralins were plotting their next move. But humans, guided by ingenuity, courage, and an unexpected ally, would stand tall. They would show the galaxy what humanity was truly capable of. And in that moment, Elias finally understood the words the alien had spoken earlier. "Do you recognize me, human? I was your neighbor back then. Not as a figure from childhood, but as a witness to the potential he had always carried. And now, together, they would ignite a spark that could shine across the stars." The morning light crept slowly over the milky frontier, casting long shadows across the rugged terrain. The colony was quiet now, but the calm was deceptive. Captain Elias Ward walked through the settlement, observing the colonists as they worked to repair damaged structures and reinforce defenses. Their hands moved skillfully, their faces set with determination. Nothing in the galaxy could break the spirit of humanity, and Elias felt a surge of pride at their perseverance. The alien woman, Leora, moved alongside him, her gaze scanning the horizon. Every movement she made seemed deliberate, graceful, and full of purpose. Elias had spent the night marveling at her abilities, how she could read the battlefield, anticipate the enemy, and guide humans with precision. Yet today, he noticed something else. She was patient, almost nurturing, as she instructed the colonists on using alien technology in ways that humans could understand. "We need to integrate the shield nodes along the outer perimeter," she said softly, pointing to the energy generators. "The Kralins rely on rapid strikes. If we can hold them at bay while minimizing damage, we gain time to strategize."
Elias nodded, appreciating her insight. "Is a great deal?"
"How long until they come back?" he asked. "Not long," she replied. "They have detected our presence, and their probes have reported our adaptations. They will send a larger force, but this time, they will underestimate human creativity." "That is your advantage. Humans were never supposed to face the Kralans directly." Their fleets were small, their weapons rudimentary compared to the alien invaders. Yet here they were, guided by an unexpected ally, who had seen humanity's potential long before humans themselves understood it. The thought stirred something deep within Elias. This was the chance to show the galaxy that humans could rise to challenges far beyond their size and experience. The next hours were a flurry of activity. Colonists gathered materials, reprogrammed drones, and constructed improvised defensive platforms. Leora demonstrated how to use alien energy weapons, their design elegant yet deadly, explaining each function in simple terms. Humans listened, adapted, and experimented, creating hybrid strategies that combined alien technology with human ingenuity. Lieutenant Mara Klein approached Elias, her face flushed with excitement.
"Captain, the scouts have returned."
"They are observing from a distance. We can see their formations, but they haven't engaged yet." Elias studied the sensor feed. A group of Kralin ships hovered at the edge of the system, sleek and menacing. Their hulls gleamed with a dark metallic sheen, and their energy weapons pulsed with power. But the humans were ready. Shield nodes hummed to life, drones whirred in anticipation, and energy turrets glowed with anticipation. Leora turned to Elias.
They will test our defenses first. The key is not to win immediately, but to survive and learn.
Observe their tactics. Humans have a unique ability to adapt in ways other species cannot. Use it. Elias nodded, feeling the weight of her words. Adaptation had always been humanity's greatest strength. In every corner of the galaxy, humans had survived where others failed, not because of superior weapons, but because of their quick thinking, resourcefulness, and courage under pressure. Tonight, those qualities would be tested again. The first attack came at midday. Raylan's scouts darted forward, firing energy pulses that struck the colony's outer defenses. The shield nodes absorbed most of the impact, but some drones were destroyed in the blast. Elias barked orders, directing the human defenders to reposition and counterattack. The humans moved quickly, using the terrain to their advantage, setting traps and improvising maneuvers that Leora had taught them. Amid the chaos, a young colonist named Jaren discovered a weak point in the enemy formation.
Captain, if we can funnel them through this canyon, their energy weapons won't reach us effectively, he shouted.
Elias considered it for a moment. It was risky, but humans had always thrived in high-risk situations.
Do it, he commanded. Lead them through the canyon, but cover our flanks.
Drones follow his signal. The plan worked. The Kraylan scouts were funneled into a narrow canyon, their movements restricted. Human drones attacked from above, using rapid-fire pulses to damage shields, while colonists on the ground used energy turrets to chip away at their armor. The scouts retreated, their losses forcing them to regroup. Elias allowed himself a brief smile. Humanity had adapted, just as Leora had said. Even against a superior enemy, they could think, plan, and execute strategies that no other species could anticipate. After the skirmish, Elias and Leora walked among the colonists, offering encouragement and guidance.
You are learning quickly, Leora said. But the Kraylans will return in greater numbers.
We must prepare for a full assault. Elias nodded. Then we train harder. We adapt faster, and we show them what humans can do. Over the next several days, the colony became a hive of activity. Humans drilled relentlessly, learning to operate alien devices, coordinate attacks, and anticipate enemy movements. Leora worked with small squads, teaching them how to use hybrid technology to create traps, ambush points, and defensive networks. Each day, the humans grew stronger, their confidence building alongside their skills. During a break between drills, Elias and Leora observed a group of colonists testing a new formation. Humans were using energy shields in coordination with drones, creating moving barriers that could confuse and trap the enemy.
They learn fast, Elias remarked. They must, Leora replied.
Humans have a spark that other species overlook, the ability to improvise, to see possibilities where none exist.
It is why you will survive and why your species deserves to.
Elias glanced at her. Curiosity piqued.
You've watched humans for a long time. Why me?
Why now? Leora's gaze softened. Because I knew you would lead. I saw it in you as a child, even when you did not recognize it. Humanity needs leaders who can inspire, adapt, and act decisively. That is why I returned. Elias felt a shiver run down his spine. Her words carried weight, not just from her knowledge of the future, but from the connection they shared. A bond that transcended time and distance. He realized that she had believed in him long before he believed in himself. The training continued, and soon the humans were ready for the next wave of Kraylan scouts. This time, the aliens were larger in number and more aggressive. Energy beams cut through the air, and drones darted to intercept incoming strikes. Human ingenuity was on full display. Colonists used improvised tunnels to flank the enemy, created decoys to mislead the scouts, and coordinated energy pulses to overload shields. During the battle, Elias noticed Leora working tirelessly, moving with precision, her presence calming and guiding the humans. She intervened at critical moments, redirecting drones, recalibrating shields, and offering tactical advice, but she allowed the humans to take the lead, letting them prove their capability. One of the colonists, a young woman named Celine, improvised a daring maneuver. She piloted a hover vehicle through a narrow ridge, drawing enemy fire away from the main defense. The move succeeded, demonstrating that human courage, combined with alien guidance, could achieve the impossible. After the skirmish, the colony's casualties were minimal, a testament to the humans' adaptation and resilience. The colonists cheered, exhausted but exhilarated, their confidence growing with every victory. Elias allowed himself a moment to breathe, proud of what they had accomplished. That evening he met Leora in the observation tower. The two of them watched the stars, knowing that the Kralins would return, stronger and more determined.
"They will not give up," Elias said.
"No," Leora replied. "But neither will humanity."
"You have proven that humans are not prey. You are survivors, innovators, and fighters."
"And that is why they fear you." Elias nodded, feeling the truth of her words. Humanity had always faced impossible odds, and had always risen to meet them. The Kralins were formidable, but humans had something they did not: the ability to think, adapt, and endure. The days that followed were a blur of preparation, training, and strategy. Humans integrated alien technology into their defenses, tested new tactics, and built stronger alliances among the colonists. Each small victory reinforced their confidence. Each mistake taught them lessons that would make them stronger. Through it all, Leora remained a guiding presence, blending alien precision with an appreciation for human creativity. She encouraged the colonists, challenged them, and inspired them to see beyond the immediate threat. Humans were not just surviving. They were learning, growing, and proving their worth to the galaxy. And then, one evening, a new signal reached the colony. The Kralins were coming in full force. A fleet of massive ships appeared on the sensors, their energy signatures unmistakable. Elias felt a mixture of fear and determination. This was the true test, the moment when humans would either rise or fall.
Are we ready?
She smiled faintly. "Ready enough." "But remember, Captain, it is not technology alone that will win this fight. It is the spark within humanity, the courage, ingenuity, and determination that cannot be measured."
"That spark will guide you." Elias took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her words.
Humans had come far in a few short days, adapting and growing stronger with each challenge. Now they would face the ultimate test, and Elias knew that they would rise to meet it, not because they were stronger, but because they were human. The milky frontier grew quiet once more, the calm before the storm. And in that silence, humans prepared not as prey, but as warriors, ready to show the galaxy that humanity's spirit could not be broken. The first rays of light barely touched the rugged surface of the milky frontier when the alarms blared across the colony. Captain Elias Ward leapt to his feet, eyes scanning the horizon. The Kralin fleet had arrived. Their massive ships hung menacingly in the sky, black and angular against the pale dawn. Energy weapons glowed like fire, and the hum of their engines filled the thin air. This was no scouting mission. This was a full-scale attack. Elias felt a rush of adrenaline. The colonists were ready, but he knew the real test had begun. Humans had survived countless challenges in the stars, but this would demand everything from them. Courage, skill, and ingenuity beyond measure. Leora stood beside him, calm and composed. Her eyes reflected the incoming fleet, glowing softly like twin pools of light. "They believe fear will break you," she said. "Show them that human resolve is stronger than their firepower." Elias nodded. "We'll give them more than they expect. Humans can't be underestimated." The colonists rushed to their positions. Drones hummed in formation, energy shields flared, and a hybrid weapons designed by combining alien tech with human improvisation, lit up with power. Every detail had been rehearsed countless times over the past days, yet Elias knew improvisation would still be key. Kraylands were unpredictable, but humans had something unique: creativity in chaos. The first wave descended. Kraylan ships fired their energy beams with lethal precision, striking the colony's outer shields. Sparks flew, and some defensive drones exploded under the concentrated blasts. Elias barked orders, moving among the humans to coordinate their efforts. "Focus fire on the left flank. Keep the drones in a wide spread. Use the canyon traps if you have to." Humans reacted with precision, weaving around obstacles, coordinating fire, and using every advantage the terrain offered. Energy pulses from their weapons struck the Kraylan's hulls, forcing several ships to maneuver defensively. The Kraylans had never faced resistance like this. Humans adapting in real time, finding weak points, and exploiting them without hesitation. In the chaos, Elias noticed a young colonist, Jaren, maneuvering a hover vehicle between the attacking ships. "He's trying to lure them into the canyon," Mara shouted. Elias smiled. Humans thrived when given responsibility.
Cover him! Support him with drones!
The canyon trap worked perfectly. The Kraylan ships were funneled into a narrow passage, their movement restricted. Humans attacked from multiple angles, energy pulses striking shields and hulls, forcing the invaders to retreat momentarily. The colonists cheered, though Elias knew the battle was far from over. Leora moved swiftly among the defenders, recalibrating shield nodes, guiding drone attacks, and redirecting energy where needed. Her presence inspired confidence. Humans were learning to trust themselves as well as her guidance. Together, they formed a force that the Kraylans had not anticipated. Hours passed with relentless combat. The Kraylans pressed harder, their fleet larger than the first wave. Energy blasts rocked the colony, sending vibrations through the ground. Yet humans adapted. They created moving barriers of drones, coordinated attacks with improvised decoys, and used the terrain to set ambushes. Every defeat taught them a lesson. Every small victory built their confidence. Amid the battle, Elias noticed a Kraylan commander ship breaking away from the formation, aiming straight for the colony's central hub. Its energy weapons glowed ominously. He realized that if it struck, the colony's command center could be destroyed. "Leora! That ship is heading for the hub! Divert it!" Leora's eyes narrowed. She gestured to the nearest drone squad. "Intercept! Use the canyon's edge for cover. Draw it in close. Humans, follow their lead." Elias watched as a group of colonists bravely maneuvered into position, using drones to bait the Kraylan ship. The invaders' weapons fired, striking the canyon walls and creating explosions, yet the humans pressed on. It was dangerous, but necessary. Creativity and courage collided perfectly here, showing the Kraylans that humans were unpredictable and relentless. The trap worked. The Kraylan ship was drawn into the canyon. Energy weapons temporarily disabled by narrow passages. Humans launched a coordinated strike, sending energy pulses directly into the ship's engines. Sparks and flames erupted along its hull, and the invader spiraled out of control, crashing into the canyon walls. The colonists cheered loudly. Humanity had won another small victory, but Yalis knew the fleet above was still dangerous. By midday, the colony was battered but intact. Humans had defended their homes with ingenuity, courage, and adaptability. Elias allowed himself a brief moment to rest, observing the colonists as they prepared for the next wave. Leora approached him, her expression serious but proud. "You have exceeded my expectations. Humans are remarkable in their ability to learn under pressure." Elias looked at her, a mixture of gratitude and awe in his eyes. "We've learned from you, but it's the humans who did the work. They've proven themselves in ways even you couldn't predict." Malore smiled faintly. "That is exactly why I returned. I saw potential long ago, and now you have shown it to the galaxy." but the Kralins will not give up easily. Their main fleet approaches. Even as she spoke, sensors picked up massive Kralin ships forming just beyond the planet's atmosphere. They were larger, faster, and more heavily armed than anything Elias had seen before. The colony's defenses would be tested like never before. He took a deep breath and rallied the human defenders.
"Listen up!" he shouted, his voice carrying over the noise of preparation. "This is what we've trained for!"
We have knowledge, we have strategy, and we have courage. Humans are not prey.
We are survivors. We are fighters.
And together, we will show them what it means to face a human colony. The colonists responded with cheers and determination. Each person understood the stakes. Every drone operator, every engineer, every soldier and civilian prepared to give everything they had. The Kralins might have technology in numbers, but humans had something no enemy could match: adaptability, creativity, and the will to survive against impossible odds. When the Kralin fleet finally struck, the battle was unlike anything the colony had experienced. Massive energy beams tore through the atmosphere, while drones darted in every direction, dodging and retaliating with precision. Humans executed complex maneuvers they had improvised during training, exploiting weaknesses in the Kralin formations. In one intense moment, a Kralin warship attempted to ram the colony's central energy generator. Elias signaled the team to intercept. "Block its path! Use everything we have!" Drones collided with the warship, deflecting it into a canyon wall. Energy pulses disabled its engines, and the ship crashed, sending a cloud of debris into the air. Leora moved seamlessly among the humans, recalibrating shields and directing attacks. Her presence was vital, yet she allowed the humans to act, ensuring that their ingenuity and courage remained at the forefront. Every successful maneuver, every improvised tactic, proved that humans were learning faster than any enemy could anticipate. Hours passed in relentless combat. Colonists took risks, relying on intuition and creativity. One small squad used a series of mirrored energy drones to create illusions, confusing the Kralins into attacking themselves. Another team redirected a stream of plasma energy into a canyon, forcing multiple enemy ships to crash into the rocky terrain. Each act of ingenuity inspired others, creating a chain reaction of clever strategies that weakened the Kralin fleet. By nightfall, the battle reached its climax. The Kralin commander ship had returned, more determined than before. Elias and Leora prepared a final trap. Using the terrain, drones, and energy shields, they created a narrow corridor, leading to the colony's main defensive array. The humans lured the Kralin ship into the corridor, dodging energy blasts while coordinating a precise strike. As the ship entered the trap, humans fired every available energy pulse in perfect synchronization. The ship shuddered, sparks flying across its hull, and finally, it exploded, sending a shockwave across the battlefield. The remaining Kralin ships retreated, their formation broken, engines damaged, and morale shattered. The colony was battered, some structures damaged, but humanity had prevailed. Elias allowed himself a deep breath, relief washing over him. The humans had done it. They had faced overwhelming odds and survived. They had proven that ingenuity, courage, and unity were more powerful than sheer numbers. Leora approached him, her eyes reflecting the glow of the stars. "You have done well, Captain. Humans are stronger than any enemy can imagine." Elias looked at her, feeling a mixture of exhaustion, pride, and gratitude. "We did it together."
Humans fought, and you guided us. But this proves what I've always believed. Humans can face anything and rise above it.
She smiled softly. "And now you know why I returned."
Not as a stranger, but as a witness to your potential. You have shown the galaxy that humanity deserves its place among the stars. Elias nodded, finally understanding. The alien who had called herself his neighbor, who had watched humanity quietly for decades, had returned to help them shine. And shine they had. The colonists celebrated, exhausted but elated. They had defended their home, protected each other, and proven that human ingenuity and courage could match any foe. And among them, Leora stood as both ally and witness, reminding them that humanity's strength lay not in weapons alone, but in their spirit. As Elias gazed at the milky frontier, he realized that humans were not just survivors. They were pioneers, fighters, and innovators. The galaxy had underestimated them for too long. But now, humanity had shown its true face, a face of resilience, courage, and hope. And somewhere among the stars, the memory of a human child and a silver-eyed neighbor had become the spark that ignited a new chapter in humanity's story.